Good afternoon. Happy Monday. We are in our final week of this series of talking about showing up for your business. I have enjoyed this journey thus far, and I am so grateful for all of you who have been engaging, interacting, leaving comments, sharing, all the things, right? I really, 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 really appreciate it. So, we are in our last week. And after this week, my 3 month program will be live. Like, I'm very, 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 very excited about that. I cannot wait to work with new people and just like see what your needs are. So I'm going to put this up now and at the end of this broadcast. If you are somebody that has been enjoying this series and have been interested in working with me, I'm going to encourage you to first like and subscribe to this video, and then make sure you go to my website and make sure you go to the Work With Me tab, and you will see all these different services. But I want you to click on the free consultation so that we can get together, we can talk and see what you need. So that is my website. And we are going to just get started with today's topic. So I know we have been talking about, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, you don't have to start over, start from where you are, but we've also talked about repurposing your content, or recreating in some way, or revamping it altogether, right? So today's topic is called showing up when it seems like it's repetitive, right? Like, sometimes there's going to be moments where you're going to have to repeat yourself, and you're going to have to talk about something more than once for people to grasp, whether it's something that you're doing, whether it's something that you're trying to put out there. You're gonna have to be a little bit repetitive, because that's what's gonna stick in their minds. The real work that we're doing, it involves being repetitive, not constantly creating things, reinventing the wheel sometimes. No, we don't want to do that. We want to continuously put out things that are going to be repetitive, right? Even if it's something that you're repurposing, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to sit down and recreate something else that's new and then talk about what you've already been talking about, right? That's what I mean when I say real work involves repetition, not constant creativity. You don't always have to be creating stuff. Reuse what you have, right? If you've gone to an event and you were speaking and you happen to talk about something that you're doing that is relevant, take that clip and use that as content. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, but it is something that's repetitive, that's going to get people to remember you by what, like, whether it's what you do or something you're creating. So keep that in mind. So doing the same tasks doesn't mean that you're stuck. What I find is, with me doing the same task, it keeps me grounded. It's like a foundation for me. If I know, okay, today I need to get up, today I need to record 4 videos so that I can continue to show up, so that I can continue to be consistent, right? So I'm talking about the same topic, showing up for your business. Yes, it's different topics, but I am doing the same task every day because I need to get into a rhythm and I need to get into a flow, right? Now, once you get into that flow and that rhythm, it may be okay to shift to another topic to talk about something else, like, for instance, let's say this month ends and I find, okay, showing up for your business was a really, really good topic, but I want to go deeper. Like, what else do I want to talk about, right? It's still the same task that I'm repeating because I'm going live every day, but it's a different topic, right? So doing the same thing is like building up that muscle so that you don't get so laxed and you don't get so complacent with what you're doing. If there's too much gap in between what you're doing and where you want to end up, then there's going to be those days where you just feel like, oh, I could take a break. And don't get me wrong, breaks are necessary. I am not against breaks. I enjoy breaks myself. But there could be a time where you're just so complacent that you don't even pick back up where you left off, right? So we have to be constantly thinking creatively about what we want to do and what we want to say that's in a repetitive way, but it's still kind of new, if that makes any sense. Growth often comes from consistency, not excitement. Stay the course and ignore the mood, right? Like we've talked about consistency. I want to say, if not every segment that I've had, it's been every other segment, right? Growth comes from being consistent. You're not going to grow. That's just common sense, right? We're not going to grow if we're not being consistent with what it is that we set out to do, right? So, like, for instance, I keep using myself because I'm always trying to find ways to be an example, especially to my clients. So, I said to myself, I want to go live every single day at 1 p.m. on my YouTube channel. How can I do that? How can I stay consistent and grow and see the manifestation of that, right? So, my goal was to get to 500 followers before the end of the month. I probably won't make that goal, but that's okay because I did grow, right? I started out with 26 followers or subscribers on YouTube. I am now, I think I'm like at 180. I don't even know. Like I would have to check. I'm going to check really quick because I really surprised myself when I saw how much I've grown, and I'm doing the same thing. 181. To this day, Monday, February 23rd, and I started February 1st and I had 26 subscribers and I now have 181 subscribers. Why? Because I'm being repetitive. I'm talking, and sometimes in my videos, I talk about the same thing. That is okay. The bottom line is that I want you to take from this video is that I'm being consistent. I am continuously showing up. And you don't even know like the behind the scenes. Like today is Monday, but I recorded this yesterday, Sunday, after getting home from church, after walking into my bedroom, seeing that my dog had a field day in my room. I said, nope, I still have to record no matter how I feel. No matter, I was very upset with my dog, but I said, nope, I'm going to sit down right here and I'm going to record because I have to continue to show up, right? So you have to be consistent. Growth comes from being consistent. It's not the excitement, right? Like you could be excited today because you got 5 people watching you, but that excitement's going to die down because if you go live again and there's only 2 people watching you, you're not going to be as excited. You may say, oh, I don't care who's watching me, I don't care if I have 1 person watching me. You say that now, but when you're in it and when you're passionate, you want people to hear what you have to say. And sometimes it's not always going to be the same numbers. It's not always going to be the same people watching you. It's not going to be the same amount of people watching you. So the excitement's going to fade. Repetition builds reliability and trust. If people are seeing that you're consistent and that you're showing up, that's going to build a level of trust for them to continue to keep watching you, continue to keep reading your blogs, continue to keep supporting you if you're coming out with new products every season or whatever it is. This can fit for any genre, any niche, whatever you want to call it. It can fit for that, right? So repetition is good. It's not a bad thing, right? Some people may say, oh, I'm talking about the same thing over and over again. Cool. There's so many people in the world. The people that heard it yesterday, they're not going to hear it today. It's going to be a new set of people that are coming in. Think about that. It's going to be a new cycle of people that are going to come in to hear what you have to say, right? Showing up even when it feels like routine. Like there's some days I don't want to sit here and record these videos, but I do it because I actually like routines. I actually like having a set schedule where I'm doing something, even though my life is kind of sporadic sometimes. I like having a routine where I'm like, nope, I have to record these 4 videos because I have to schedule them out. And I like to see that my stuff is set up. So I like routine, right? Why does discipline matter? Why? Why does discipline matter? First of all, it's going to build that muscle in you as a leader, as a business owner. If you can show yourself disciplined in the beginning, when things get hard, when things get tough, when you feel like you have to multitask, you're going to be disciplined to do that. You're not going to be so disciplined if you're, if you have all these things hitting you at once, you're not going to be as disciplined as you want to be. Discipline is good, okay? Discipline gives you structure. Discipline gives you order. Discipline gives you direction. Discipline gives you a layout, a blueprint of what you are to do, whatever it is that you're doing, okay? I was disciplined enough because I had all my topics laid out. I had the days I was going to speak about them. Yes, some things shift because I'm like, I really, really did talk about this already. Let's shift it to something else. But at least I had a structure to look at. And I was disciplined enough to say, okay, I need to sit here and I need to record because I need to show up. Understanding that repetition is part of mastery, okay? If you can be repetitive and get your word out there, you're like, people are just going to be like, I can't even tell you how many times I've heard people say, oh, years later, oh, I'm just now coming across your content. It's so good for me right now. It's so relevant. I needed to hear this. And I'm like, oh, I recorded that 3 years ago, but I'm glad that you were able to find it. And I'm glad that you were able to resonate with it because I was being repetitive, but I created that mastery of having all of this relevant content in my library that people could go back and listen to, that people could go back to and utilize for themselves, right? So not everything in business is meant to feel new. Maybe it's something that you just need to kind of work through and sit with being repetitive for a little bit. And you can say things in different ways. Yes, of course. Go back and listen to some of my videos. I've been saying different things, but it may seem repetitive to some, right? But it's all good information. So take this as a lesson on this Monday and take it with you throughout this week and even through next month. Like, you don't have to be one that's always constantly creating and reinventing the wheel. Utilize what you have and repost something that you already posted. Post something in your stories that's repetitive so that people can see it again, because people may see it once, they may be busy, they may not have time to like and share it. But you post it a second time. Yes, you may think it's repetitive, but then they're going to like it and then they're going to share it and then somebody else is going to share it. And it goes on and on and on, right? So again, this is the type of stuff I go through in my 3-month program with my clients. We have 1 more week left. So please, please visit my website, go and book your consultation with me. Like and subscribe this video, and I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m.